signature. Oh, that's good. Yeah. No, it ain't nothing, you know. Yeah. Yeah,
I know, right?
something else. And that's the gentleman that came out. I said, that's the fine one that came out. Steve Mills, and he's also the president. Is it? And that's right, second.
All right, good evening, everyone. Call the meeting to order. It's 6:01. First and foremost, I want to pray that everyone had a great holiday. Happy New Year. We're looking forward to 2026 and doing even better work for the community overall. So I'd like to turn to our minutes from October 21st. So I'll give everybody a few minutes to review them, since we're just getting them today. Anyone have any questions? All right, can I get a motion to approve the October 21st, 2025 Pike Township Board minutes?
I move to accept the motion.
Can I get a second?
I second it.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Minutes from October 21st, 2025 is passed. The next piece of business is item number 2. Every year, I believe it's the first Tuesday after the new year, the board must go through a reorg with the vote of the new president and a new secretary for the board. So in accordance with the statute, I put out on the floor. First, we'll go through the president and then the secretary. I'd like to filed on the floor, nominations for the president of the Pike Township Board for 2026.
I would like to nominate Demetrius Hicks, District 2.
Any other nominations? Go ahead. I second. All in favor? Say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? All opposed?
How many
Ms.
ayes do we
Lloyd?
have?
All.
Hold. Two nays and 3 ayes?
She said aye.
Okay, very good.
So Hicks.
Deborah?
Deb, what'd you say?
I stay.
Okay.
Abstain, okay.
So, all in favor said aye. The motion passed. Mr. Hicks is the new president of the Pike Township Board for 2026. Second will be the secretary. Nominations for the secretary for the board for 2026.
I nominate member Kenyon Perkins, District 5.
Any other nominations? Any other second?
I second.
Get a second?
Can I second?
I second.
I'll second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Please speak up. Any
Abstain.
opposed? Okay, I guess no opposed, so that's 5-0. Next, Perkins is the new secretary of the Pike Township Board for 2026. For the rest of the evening, I will preside over the meeting, and then Mr. Hicks will take over at the next meeting. Okay, next up, number 3, Chief Jean.
Good evening. I have, there's a resolution in front of you for, to declare surplus property. That's, it's a standard resolution that we do on a fairly regular basis. If you'll flip on the back side of that, you'll see the surplus equipment list that is there. There is a 2009 Pierce Arrow XT pumper, 2014 Ferrara Igniter 107-foot ladder truck, a 2018 Ford E450 Horton ambulance, 2016 Dodge Ram 1500, and a 2013 Chevrolet Silverado, along with a complement of miscellaneous electric and/or hydraulic extrication tools. That is the surplus items that we have that are no longer have extended their outside of their service life, or no longer have a use for us as operating equipment. I would ask for your approval, passage of the resolution to declare those surplus property, that we can dispose of those.
Okay, I have a couple questions, Chief. Just for clarity and for the record, the February resolution, did it or did it not identify the specific equipment now listed in Exhibit A?
The February resolution,
You stated in your email that we had made a February resolution, and the only thing that's different in this one is that you had the Exhibit A equipment. Is that correct?
that's correct.
Okay,
Other than, I'm sure there's the date
okay,
of the resolution is different.
okay. Are you aware that Indiana Code 5-22-22 requires the governing body to determine that identified property is no longer needed or useful before authorizing disposal? And that before we can decide, because we are the governing body, we are to receive the documentation required by law to support that designation. Now, although you did notify us on December the 11th of this resolution, can you state if you did supply us with the documentation showing that this equipment needs to be disposed of?
I have not provided you with any other documentation other than the information I provided you with.
Okay.
through
Are you
the-
aware that Indiana State Code 5-22-22 states that you have to provide that to us in order for us to make a ruling on the surplus equipment? Are you aware of that?
I am not aware.
Okay. It is. Okay, so the next question I want to ask is that, the property, the equipment that's listed in Exhibit A, has that been disposed of?
No.
Okay. So at this time, can you tell me and the board what documentation exists to support the claim that each item listed in Exhibit A has exceeded its useful life or can no longer be effectively used? That's Indiana State Code 5-22-22, because we're supposed to have documentation.
What documentation would you like to see to support that conclusion?
What documentation do you have?
Well, I could have, we could have maintenance records.
Okay.
I could give you the mileage of that.
Okay.
I could tell you that it's,
Okay. Well, what
That
you
it's
need to
no
do is
longer
get all
in-
your documentation together, and then you can present it to us, and then we can make that determination. Another question that I do have is the disposal method, because Indiana Code 5-22-22 also states that you have to have a disposal method. Have you decided what disposal method that will be? And it has to be within the guidelines of the state code, Indiana Code 5-22-22, which includes sale, auction, trade-in, transfer, or scrap.
the first three items in the exhibits would be sold.
Okay?
Items,
So that's the 2009 Pierce Aero XT pumper, the
Yes.
2014 Fiera Igniter ladder,
Yes.
the 2018 Ford E40 450 ambulance, correct?
yes.
Okay, I just want to make sure for my documentation.
The 2016 Dodge Ram would be auctioned.
Okay,
The 2013 Chevrolet Silverado would be auctioned.
okay,
And the hydraulic extrication tools would likely be auctioned unless we found another local fire department that wanted to utilize those pieces of equipment, but I don't expect that that would be the case.
okay. So another question, absent an okay, well, you already have the disposal code, so we got that. So how will the township ensure that any disposal process meets statutory requirements for transparency and fair market value, including appropriate valuation or competitive processes? Do you have any documentation of appraisals or valuation of the equipment that we are about to sell?
I have an appraisal for the first three items.
Okay, can you please, you don't have to read it out loud, we just need the documentation, please. So if you don't have it, you can get it to us, you have our email. Another thing, since the equipment is being sold, where were the proceeds intended to be deposited, and who made that determination?
They would go to the cumulative capital equipment fund
Okay.
for the fire department,
For the fire department?
yes.
Okay. So, who made that decision?
That's the standard place where we've been putting.
So that you've always been doing it, okay.
years.
So let me just recite the Indiana code real quick. Indiana Code 5-2-22, Indiana Public Funds Law. For clarity, an Indiana Public Funds Law requires that proceeds from the disposal of township property or are public funds, and the governing body determines, that's us, all five of us, where those proceeds are deposited and how they may be used. Now, you said that you've been getting this prior. It's been going to the fire department. That's not what the state code says. So you've been doing it incorrectly. So this year, we're gonna do it correctly. Let me see if I have any more questions for you.
Excuse me, can we just be respectful of the meeting? I'm hearing some voices, please, thank you.
And I just want to say this again for the record. Proceeds from the disposal of township property are public funds, and the governing body determines where those proceeds are deposited and how they may be used. Departments do not have independent authority to make that determination. Jeff, am I saying something incorrectly?
I don't think so.
Okay, I just want to make sure. Because if I'm saying it, I done fact-checked it about 10, 20 times.
Typically, what would happen is that if an item is sold, the source of the original purchase,
But is that what the code says,
go
though?
back into that.
But is that what the code states?
I would have to look at.
Okay, well, I tell you what, you look too, and then you get back with me on that one also.
And if there's a place where you would like it to cause it,
Yeah, we're gonna make that determination after it's done. Okay. Another thing, what written documentation will be provided to the board after the authorized disposal to confirm the method was used that you just stated, the date of the disposal, and whether any proceeds were received and deposited as directed by the board, which we'll make that determined after that. So in past, I guess say past practice, have you provided the board with written documentation so they can verify that what you say is going on has been done?
In past practice, we have not.
We have not, okay. So, which leads me to this. So,
Before you continue, we just got notice that the live stream is not working.
oh yeah, it says it's not working.
Okay, we're just getting it from some of the residents.
Yeah.
Go on, I'm sorry.
That's okay. So what I did, I looked at your resolution and I drafted my own resolution based off of some things that need to be included in the resolution. And here you go, Jeff. Here's a copy for you, and here's a copy for you. You can give that to the chief. And here's a copy for you too, and that. And everyone else has a copy. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you what some of the changes that I made, so you can understand why I made these changes. Because I think we need to start being uniform, since we are the co-equal branch of government. Okay, so what I did with this document, I aligned the resolution language directly with the requirements of Indiana Code 5-2-2. I clarified that the board, not any other department or individual, retains decision-making authority over surplus property. I explicitly stated that the township trustee does not have unlimited or independent authority and may act only within the limits set by statute and by the board. We're going to ensure a formal surplus determination is documented before any disposal occurs, because I want documentation. Limiting disposal methods to those expressly permitted by law. Confirming that any proceeds from disposal are public funds and remain under board control. Requiring documentation prior to disposal and written reporting after disposal so statutory compliance can be demonstrated on the record. I removed vague or overlaying broad language that could be interpreted as delegating authority beyond what the law allows, and I am protecting the township and individual board members by establishing a clear, transparent process. So you all can look that over. Jeff, you can give me a call, and we can talk about it. We can talk about it with the board, but this, what I put in here, and then I also want to make sure that inside the resolution, that the number, the equipment is listed on the very first page. Your actual resolution was kind of precarious because you had put on here that we had already voted and da-da-da-da. We hadn't voted, so this was actually contingent upon us voting on this, because you have on here and the following resolutions were made, seconded, and adopted, but we haven't even talked about it. So this right here, this is premeditated. This is not. This is forward thinking. This is to bring it to the board. Let us look at it. Let us ponder over it. Let us see it. But in here, it clearly states that you have provided us documentation as the Indiana Code 5-2-2 states.
Thank you for your time.
You're welcome. Oh, 5-2, 22-2.
Any more questions?
No more questions.
Okay. I guess at the next meeting, you'll provide us with the information
So with that, we'll go ahead and table this topic.
For the board, as far as being able to move forward with the resolution. So we're gonna table the resolution for the surplus property at this time, possibly to the next board meeting. Okay, the next item, number 4, which is the Township Assistant Eligibility Standards for Pike Township, Marion County. And so what I've done also, so that we have something to compare to, I've given the board members a copy of the Warren Township eligibility standards. So this way, we're trying to compare to see how we can improve or delete or whatever the case may be. So according to your
Excuse me, Chair.
email,
Excuse me,
trustee
Chair.
Johnson, hold on, I'm speaking.
I was gonna ask you, could I have a copy of what you guys are comparing it to?
I'll make sure you get one.
I mean,
I don't have one right now.
Oh, how am I gonna be able to
Yeah.
add anything to it if I don't
Well,
have a copy?
I will
I don't
provide
think
one
that's
to you.
fair
I
for
will
you.
drop it off at your office tomorrow. But anyway, we're not going to approve anything tonight. That's first. So you don't need to have it in front of you. But at any rate, what we're gonna do is look at the Warren Township and Pike and see how we, and come up with our own thoughts also, as long as it applies and we're following the law. So in reference to the Township Assistance Guidelines, we will table that also. But according to your email, I believe you said something about January 20th, Annette?
I didn't say anything about January 20th.
Okay. So when will we put this back on the agenda?
How will I know if you just brought it to me to say you want to look over warrants and discuss warrants?
So,
And I didn't even have a copy of anything.
so what we'll do then, we'll discuss it here in the next week or two, to put it on the next agenda, so that we can get this finalized, which according to what I understand, should have been in the end of December, so that you had some kind of guideline to follow for 2026.
Okay, I'm looking at the email. Annette, you did say they will be presented at the January 20th, 2026 meeting for
Right.
approval.
Right.
So is
Well,
that,
we had to change the meeting.
Change that
so
one, okay.
Remember, the meeting is the 27th, so that's
oh, so
what
it's the, okay.
whatever the next meeting is that we sent out already.
So the next meeting is the finance.
But hold on, I'm sorry, Madam
Hold
Chairman.
on one second. Hold on 1 second. So the next board meeting is supposed to be the Board of Finance meeting. Can we place on the agenda the guidelines? Jeff? We can? Okay. All right, we'll do.
And that's
All
for
right,
the,
so far.
I'm sorry, that's for the
27th.
27th. Okay.
27.
You mentioned that this was supposed to be uploaded or completed when, December?
Well, it should have been into the State Board of Accountants by the end of December, so you have a guideline to follow for the new year.
Trustee, do you know why that may not have happened?
That is just a guideline. Each township does it differently. Some years we do guidelines and some years we don't. So it's not like we're gonna be faulted or anything. Our guidelines are what there are that are stated on the township, on the website. They are what they are. All we're doing is was updating them to give a little cushion since apartments and utilities are going up. That's all this is for. It's just a guideline to follow.
Well, I had some recommendations for the language of the guidelines, and I actually compared it to some of the
It's not-
Center Township.
Well, we can,
Yeah.
if, maybe it will take a couple of us, since 3 of us would be considered a meeting. It'll take maybe 2 of us to go through this and come up with some recommendations that we can send out, and have a more formal document sooner than later. But but to discuss it here would be just forever
So,
at this particular point.
so Annette, is it okay if it's gonna be okay, but I'll send you over some of the things that I would like to see in the guidelines. And it's nothing dramatic, it's just possibly like document handling, just to give the residents who come in, if we're gonna follow these guidelines, which is like a policy, that it could be a little bit more friendly, like customer service and things like that. So mine is really nothing drastic, to be honest, but I'll send it to you so you can look at it.
Well, again, like I said, I think a couple of us should get together and walk through this. That's my recommendation.
But is
Okay,
there a set, since the guidelines, since we were supposed
No,
to.
the way the guideline, you can go online at the, State Board of Accounts. Everybody has their guidelines. Everybody pretty much follows the standard, to kind of do what's needed. All of them are the same. I'm looking at Warren's, just same language just about. Maybe take a word or two out. Nothing's no different. I see his is a couple of pages. Ours is 6, 7 pages. His is 42. But if you go online, you'll see everybody across all 92 counties pretty much have the same standard. These were the guidelines that was already part of Pike Township.
I understand that, but as,
I wasn't done, please. Can
Yeah,
I, please, I don't
talk.
interrupt you guys. I've been very decent. Can I please finish? I was just saying,
apologize.
I get that you want to change. There's nothing wrong with change. I'm just sharing with you that these are guidelines that have been in existence across 92 counties. We're not the only one. Of course, we can change certain things. All we ever change is the last 4 pages where it says from 34 to 36 is all we've ever changed, because, every year we just went by the standard codes and things like that. So what I do is always just update page 34, 35, 36 to, bring it up to standard, because things have went up in the utilities. But yeah, I see nothing wrong with change. I'm just saying, you can go online and look at all 92 counties, it's all the same, it's all the same.
But I just want to ask a clarifying question.
Okay,
So since the guidelines, since we didn't have them done by December, and I get what you're saying, like that's just a timeframe per se. But is there an actual deadline that we
No, there is
absolutely
not.
have to have this
no,
approved?
there is not. Some townships don't do guidelines for 10 years. It just depends, but we have been pretty diligent doing them every 2 years and so forth since I became a trustee. Like I said, when I was on the board, hadn't been done in 10 years or in 5 years.
Okay.
Again, as long as you do have your standard guidelines that are supposed to be, for the State Board of Accounts and Department of Local Government Finance, to view those so that people know that they're there.
Okay.
No,
So we can
because-
always adjust it mid-year if we ever need to.
Say that again?
I said, so we can always adjust mid-year if we ever need to.
Yeah, and normally in the past, what had happened is most townships update their guidelines every 2 years, because things change. And then again, some townships haven't changed them in years. So, yeah,
Appreciate that.
no problem.
well, maybe with the guidelines, but when it comes to the federal government, that changes every year. And so if we are truly helping people, it is important that we keep on top of what the federal government is expecting us to follow. Other than that, there is no, the needed help, it will never be what it needs to be if we're looking at the guidelines once every 5 years or
Well,
once every 2 years or whatever. So, and that was the whole point of that $205,000.
Yeah.
Was to make sure that when this time came, that we were where we needed to be to make the greatest impact
Yeah.
on the people in need in Pike Township.
And,
So, with
Chair,
that,
I just have one more comment.
Go on.
Keep in mind, board members, and what you're saying, Claudette, is, almost accurate. At the end of the day, what we have to go by is the guidelines that are given out. If the family doesn't qualify, they still wouldn't get the assistance. So it's not up to us to give out whatever we want to give. We still have to go by the government guidelines, like a household of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If they don't qualify, they won't get the assistance. That's why, at the end of the day, it's good that we help as many as we can, and sometimes override that. Because if you're going by the guidelines that the government puts out, pretty much nobody's gonna qualify, because they have exceeded it. They're saying they can't make, look at that, their monthly income. This is what the government, this don't have nothing to do with us. We only can follow what the government is giving us to do. So keep that in mind.
Let me say something real quick.
It says it right here in Warren Township, it's the same thing. If not, people come here all they want, but as soon as they hit this threshold, it's gonna kick their application out.
So I just want to say, for me, the changes that I wanted to see into the guidelines have nothing to do with what you were saying, Annette. I just wanted the expectations to be clear, consistent, and transparent.
Right.
For the residents who are coming in here.
I understand.
Okay?
And I agree with
Clarify the
that.
process, which will reduce confusion, complaints, and repeat applications. So that's what some of the changes that I was talking about. It has nothing to do with if we can give someone assistant who does not qualify. I am more customer service based for our residents. They should know what the process is, the exact process is, and it should be consistent. And if we do this, this will establish service and accountability standards, which you can present to us during a board when we're asking for that information. So that's what my changes were for. And I just wanted to put that on the record also.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, and I understand, we need to follow guidelines, there's no doubt about it. All I'm saying is, we need to still be at the financial standard that's gonna help people. And at our last, if not the last meeting, the meeting before, where there was a Pike Township resident, a senior, who was put out on the street and got no service from this office. Her stuff was out on the street. If that's not somebody in need, I don't know who is. All right, I'll take a
Clarification.
motion to adjourn.
Clarification, hopefully I'll be able
I'll take a motion to
to
adjourn.
talk about that, because that information from that applicant was false information, and I have the documentation to prove that.
I'll
I'll
take a motion to adjourn.
Make
So
a
just
motion
letting
to
you know, that was
Okay,
false
All
information.
in favor to adjourn? Okay, we're
That
adjourned.
did not happen.
It's,
Here it is, right here.
6:34 p.m.
Somebody must have probably said her to say that, because I have information right here. So hopefully I'll get to talk about that at the next meeting, because we did call her and interview her, and it was all false information.
Hey, this thing gets straightened out.
Well, I mean, we fired the guy, doing the best we can. I'm just saying, it's what you did. What else we gonna do? I mean, we ain't got
I
nobody.
mean, it don't take a doctor to learn how to figure it out.
If you know how to figure it out,
Come
why
on
don't you go
now.
ahead and do it then?